Hi everyone, and welcome to Sunrise Tarot. My name is Leah, and today I'm doing a reading. Well, it's actually not a reading, but it's messages from the ancestors and spirit guides and angels for the Neptune Retrograde time period. I'm going to pull two cards from the Ancestor deck, and I'm going to pull one card from the Messages of the Universe deck. So let's get right into it. I'm going to pull two cards for Aries, because that is the first sign I'm going to start with. And I'm going to shuffle behind the camera because it is easier for me to hold the cards closer to my chest. Otherwise, they kind of go all over the place. So the first card for the sign of Aries we have is Shaolin Master, be graceful in movement and action. The second card for Aries we have is Winter, take care of your needs. And the third card, message from the universe, and the third card is, we've got the universe works fast when I'm having fun. Okay, really wonderful messages, very positive. Now, let's start with the Shaolin Master. Slow and steady, breathe and flow. Take a gentler approach throughout the Neptune retrograde time period, dear Aries. You are being guided to flow like water, blow like air, and connect with your purest intentions. Don't feel you need to rush. Take it slow. A gentler approach will be more fruitful and rewarding. Move with subtlety and grace. Reach high, but also ask yourself how you can move with the flow of life rather than pushing against it, because when you're pushing against life you create, of course, resistance. Do you have the capacity to refocus your gaze at this time? Can you slow down or take more time to soften and breathe as you move forward? All of this will be incredibly beneficial for what comes next. And the Winter card is all about taking care of yourself. Do everything you need to be at your best. Then move beyond your fears and your limitations. You have an opportunity to move beyond your fears. Although you may feel like you're in the dark, get comfortable with being in the unknown and trust that the light within you will sustain you through what you may seem is a challenging process. The reason you received the Winter card and this beautiful, gorgeous animal, the wolf animal, is because what you want lies beyond those limitations and those fears. So you need to kind of expand your boundaries, and the way you do it is by addressing your fears and moving past them. Ask yourself what you need to do to feel supported and alive. You may uncover something from your past that you have buried deep. Know that when you uncover that and shed light on it, you create space for miracles. So the divine here and the ancestors are basically telling you to do more shadow work, to address things that make you feel uncomfortable, to address things that make you not want to, like deal with it. It's important to ground yourself. It's important to stay within your frame as well. So you may want to do little rituals in order to help do that shadow work and address things that are difficult. You may feel like a lone wolf right now, but it's time for you to be the alpha. So take leadership. The universe works fast when I'm having fun. I really like this card. The universe is currently recalibrating and realigning itself for you so that you're able to receive the maximum out of this experience that we all call life. And definitely it's much more enjoyable when you're having fun. So focus on things that kind of help you enjoy yourself. Develop hobbies, focus on creative projects that make you kind of move forward and express yourself through creativity, and also helps you maintain that high vibration. That is the message that I have for you today, dear Aries. The next sign I will be talking about is Taurus. So let's take these cards and I will reshuffle. And here we go. I am going to pull two cards for the sign of Taurus. And we've got Wise One, grow within your current situation. We also have Knight. Be brave and honest. Wonderful. Now let's see what message we have from the universe. I'm going to shuffle the universe. Messages from the universe deck at the moment. And the card that we've got is... I'm the dreamer of my dream. Wonderful. Okay, so the wise one is all about staying committed to the task at hand, especially during this Neptune retrograde time period. Knuckle down, be reliable, be committed, be open to wisdom and insights from your elders. The wisdom of the wise one is based on something that the younger generation is often lacking: commitment and reliability. When this card appears, you are being guided to continue working on your growth and expansion within your current situation. Be committed to your tasks and projects because you are on the right path. As long as you stay committed, you will have the expansion, the abundance, the success that you would like to see. It can be very easy to get bored and overwhelmed, but persevere. You are being reminded of how it feels to be let down and experience unreliability, and that is not who you were born to be. So keep working on what you're working on, because it's going to be extremely beneficial for you in the long run. So if you're focused on a relationship, if you're focused on growing a family, if you're focused on going to a specific school or doing well in a specific course, if you're focused on purchasing a home, moving, going on a vacation, whatever is holding your focus at the moment, stay committed to the task at hand. Be reliable, be dependable, and keep at it. Now, the Knight is all about being brave and honest. Choose to do the right thing, even if it isn't the easiest option. Stand for what you know to be right and true. The energy of respect is important right now. You're being encouraged to figure out what is important to you. What do you stand for? If you are in a space where there's opposition, you're being guided to follow through with your integrity, because even if it seems this will slow your progress, your rewards will be much more abundant. You're being surrounded by a light of bravery to help you. This card also brings justice. If you're longing for justice, please know that the universe energies are working to bring everything back into order, and that you don't need to force anything through with your will. If you have made mistakes recently, it's important to take ownership of them so that you can align yourself with improving the situation. If you are feeling the need to defend your spiritual path at this time, back down. Let the spiritual path protect you. Let your faith protect you. Let your belief system protect you. And that will help you move forward. And you may not see the progress that you're wanting to see right at this time, but it's coming and it's very close, and you will be astounded by how much progress you will see by the time the Neptune retrograde period comes to an end. There's going to be an aspect of your life that's going to be completely new for you. And I really like the message from the universe. I'm the dreamer of my dream. You are the architect. You are the magician of your own reality. So make sure you focus on manifesting things into your reality. Make sure to focus on meditating. Make sure to focus on grounding yourself. And remember, the dreams are important. You have the power to create the reality that you want. So make sure to kind of see things through and stay committed, and allow your faith to carry yourself as well, especially when you're feeling a little bit of doubt. Now, that is the message that I have for you, dear Taurus. The next sign I will be talking about is Gemini. So let's take care of these cards and reshuffle the deck again so that we can pull 2 cards for the sign of Gemini. And the cards are not really cooperating. Okay. So the first card for the sign of Gemini we've got is Trader. Exchange energy to create abundance. Wonderful. The second card we've got Hermit. Retreat and recharge. Wonderful. And the message from the universe, let's see what the universe has for you, dear Gemini. Just shuffling a little bit more because I really want I believe that the cards really have to be shuffled really, really well. Because sometimes if you don't shuffle them well, they tend to come out similar. Okay, I choose to learn through love. Wonderful. So the Traitor, dear Gemini, is the first card that we're going to start with. Traitor is all about making connections and exchanging information, talents, or exchanging support. That could also be exchanged. The universe operates under the law of cause and effect and is always looking to return to a natural state of balance. So if you're lacking in the feelings of abundance right now, you're being invited to share your time, share your gifts, share your understandings with others. If you are frustrated because something isn't unfolding in your life, instead of asking yourself what you can get, ask yourself what you can give. The exchange of energy doesn't necessarily mean financial energy. It can also be about supporting in order to feel supported. If you've been holding back with your offerings, now is the time to change that. Allow yourself to be open. Allow yourself to be honest. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. This can prepare you to open up to even greater opportunities in the coming days, weeks, and months. Remember that when you're trying to manifest something into your life, the divine and the ancestors and the spirit guides sometimes use animals or other people in order to bring your manifestation to your reality. So when you don't get involved with others, you may not see that manifestation come to fruition. So make sure that when your friend asks you to go to lunch or something, or you know a friend has a birthday, do something nice for them. Organize a gathering so that you can network, so that you can, get involved with other people. That is very important. There's many ways of getting involved. You can get involved through church, you can get involved through meetup groups, you can go get involved through some sort of an environmental cause. There's so many different, things out there that can there's theater, there's art galleries, there's sporting events, there's, so many different interests and things that you can be a part of and truly enjoy, and as a result benefit by receiving opportunities that you would otherwise not receive. Now, the Hermit is all about retreating and recharging. Take time to rest and recuperate in order to continue your growth. Benefit from the information that will come directly from your heart space. You've been working hard and giving your all to your current situation, and it may become draining and detrimental to your development unless you retreat and recharge your energies. So you're being guided to take a step back at this time. If you're working on bringing something together, your over-involvement could impede the process. So retreat and breathe. If you have something to say or do, you could have a larger impact on your life. Spend some time in deep thought. Spend some time contemplating. Spend some time re-evaluating before moving forward. Often when we rush, we don't see how destructive our actions can be. So meditate and listen to your soul's wisdom before proceeding further. So the answers that you are seeking, dear Gemini, especially throughout the Neptune retrograde time period, are within you. You have the answers. That's why you need to close your eyes and meditate, because then the answer will be given to you, because it's already inside of you. If you're not, receiving that answer, then your mind is not quiet enough. And of course, the last card, the message from the universe, is you need to learn from love. So if you are doing something and it's irritating you or annoying you, you should probably do something that you enjoy doing, something that makes you feel joy, something that makes you feel creativity, because when you choose to learn through love, you benefit so much more rather than forcing yourself yourself. You know, sometimes other people expect us to do things we don't really want to do. Sometimes parents want us to go to a particular college or have a particular job. It's important to follow your own heart, because your own heart is love. And so when you choose to approach things and as well as learn, you know, through love, then you're on the right path. That is the message that I have for you today, dear Gemini. The next sign I will be talking about is Cancer. So these cards I will put back into the deck and reshuffle. Let's see what messages, ancestors and spirit guide messages we have for the sign of Cancer. And the first card that we've got is Protection Guardian, drop your shields. And the second message we have is Arrow, surround yourself with protective energy. Let's see, dear Cancer, what message from the universe we have. And we've got, I always trust the direction of the universe and know I'm being guided. Wonderful. Okay, Protection Guardian is all about dropping your shield. Sometimes shields can be like, you know, anger or resentment or shame or guilt or fear, resistance to something. Those types of shields can be standing between you and your chances of enjoyment and fun. Know that you don't need to hide who you are or the gifts that you have. You were born to shine, dear Cancer. You may have encountered shame or embarrassment in your past, but that is not your present. Angels are drawing close at this time to help you move beyond any limiting self-thoughts or any limiting self-emotions or any limiting patterns that may be making you feel unsafe. Know that angelic protection is swirling around you at this moment and will help you move forward in a more fearless way. Call on your guides for help in changing your frequency so you can feel safe and protected at this time. You are stronger than you think, and your angels and ancestor guides are here to help you realize this now. Definitely you need to do some shadow work, especially throughout the Neptune retrograde time period, and address those emotions. Most importantly, the reason we do shadow work is because it helps us stay in our frame. It helps us integrate all those things, because, you know, when we don't like something about ourselves, we try to distance that. You know, we try to become distant from it. It's almost like trying to abandon part of yourself, and that is not going to help you move forward. You need to stay in your own frame. You need to address uncomfortable emotions, work through them, and incorporate them into yourself, because you are a whole person. You already have everything you need to in order to succeed. So it's important to do that shadow work. Now, Arrow is all about surrounding yourself with protective energy. Surround yourself with positive people. Surround yourself with good experiences, good environments that make you feel safe. Call on your angels, call on your guides, call on your ancestors to bring you protection. If you are in a situation where you feel that not everything is as clear as it seems, trust your intuition. There are energies in your current situation that aren't fully aligned with your intentions and goals or with kindness. What are those energies? Who is around you that is not helping you proceed in the direction you want to achieve your dreams, to achieve your goals, to live a happy, fulfilled, harmonious life? That is who you need to have distance from. So make sure that you really reevaluate situations that aren't really helping you. Make sure to reevaluate people who are not appreciative of your kindness, and follow your intuition about whom to trust and what to trust. If you can take time to retreat or step step out of the situation to assess what is going to be beneficial for you, you need to do that. In any event, this is the time to call on the energy of protection and to place yourself in a space that feels safe. If you don't feel safe, then you're not surrounded by the people that are your tribe. Find your tribe. In order to find your tribe, you need to address emotions that may be holding you back, like guilt or resentment, or any of those things. And then you need to get involved so that you attract people who are like-minded, who think the way you think. There's so many people out there. You will find your tribe. It's important to remember. And I really like the message from the universe. I always trust the direction of the universe and know I'm being guided. The universe here is calling upon you to have that faith and to allow the faith to do all the work. The universe already knows that you have faith. So let the faith guide you. Let the intuition and that inner voice guide you throughout this Neptune retrograde time period. That is the message that I have for you, dear Cancer. The next sign I'll be talking about is, of course, Leo. So let's get these cards back into the decks and let's reshuffle. I will pull 2 cards for the sign of Leo for the Neptune retrograde time period. Let's see what messages we have from the spirit guides. Just want to make sure that I really shuffle well. Okay. And so the first card we've got is Stargazer. Set your sights higher. Love it. The second card we've got is Medicine Guardian. Be open to healing information. Wonderful. Let's see what we can get from the messages from the universe deck. And I am shuffling really, really hard. Okay, so the card that I'm pulling is I'm a spirit having a human experience and I'm here to get closer to love. Really, really wonderful cards. Okay, let's start with the Stargazer. So the Stargazer definitely tells you to raise your standards and to raise your limitations and boundaries. Go beyond what you perceive as impossible and make it possible. You are on the verge of a miracle. All of your dreams and aspirations are within your grasp and you're being guided to focus on your vision. The angels who are with you are encouraging you. There is nothing that you cannot have or achieve. There's an opportunity at this time to heal an old wound or pattern of lack and not feeling good enough in the past. You found it impossible to recognize your own worth and to believe that you are deserving of blessings. Angels and ancestor wisdom is reminding you that you are an incredible and infinite spark of the universe. And the universe is not only within you, it absolutely adores you. You are talented. You're filled with strength. You have the abilities you need to turn your wildest dreams into reality. And of course, the Medicine Guardian, be open to healing information. Listen to what is coming up within you and what is being shared with you by trustworthy others in your life. Pay attention to healing information. You're being exposed to information and insights that will have a dramatic healing effect upon your life. If you're working through something mentally or emotionally, know that there are spiritual energies supporting your healing. If you're working through something that is physically challenging, pay particular attention to information that's coming to you that feels inspired, insightful, and warm. It will be supportive of your wellness. Your angels are here to remind you that your natural state is one of wholeness, and you are on the road to revealing that wholeness wholeness once more. You are a very, very powerful sign, dear Leo. You have everything you need in order to succeed. You are absolutely whole. Make sure to meditate throughout the Neptune retrograde time period. Make sure to ground yourself to stay within your own frame, and make sure to have that belief system and allow your belief system to carry you through, especially when you're experiencing doubt, or fear as well. And definitely make sure you focus on healing. Healing is what is most important right now for you, dear Leo, in order for you to achieve your goals and your dreams. Especially with this universe card, I'm a spirit having a human experience, and I'm here to get closer to love. Remember that this is a journey. We're all going through many different things all at the same time. So when you focus on healing, when you focus on first and foremost experiencing love of yourself, not your ego necessarily, but yourself, your true self, your authentic self. When you stay in your own frame, then you're moving in the right direction. That is the message that I have for you today, dear Leo. And I am the next sign we'll be talking about is Virgo. So let's take these cards and incorporate them back into their decks, and let's shuffle. And let's pull 2 cards for the sign of Virgo. Okay, 2 cards for the sign of Virgo. First card is Peacekeeper. Let go of the need to be right. The second card that I'm pulling for Virgo is Shield Maiden. Make plans and focus. Interesting. Now, the third card is the message from the universe. Let's see if I can shuffle really quickly. I like to shuffle well. And the third card is energy flows where my intention goes. Wonderful. Okay, so the first card we're going to start with is Peacekeeper. Let go of the need to be right. Choose peace and happiness over the need to be right. Rather than trying to prove a point, save your energy for what is important. You may be feeling on edge due to a stressful situation. First, if you do feel the need to be right, it's important to remember that maybe you're surrounded by the wrong situation or the wrong people or the wrong environment, because when you are in your natural, authentic, true self, you generally don't have that need to constantly be right. It seems that there is some sort of a past injustice that continues lingering or following you. So you want to make sure to put that to bed, to resolve that, because your time and energy is extremely precious, and it needs to be going towards, staying in your own frame, focusing on your authentic self. There is a warrior within you that wants to rise up and prove your point and get the truth across, but you're being reminded by ancestor wisdom that truth will always be revealed in the end. It's more important at this time to avoid arguments or heated discussions where you'll be fighting a losing battle. There's much more powerful in choosing to move forward from a higher perspective. This will allow you to connect deeply to the guidance within and the intuition that will lead you towards the healing of the whole situation, along with any wounds it may have inflicted on you. Choose peace. Know it is calling you. Can you hear the peace calling you? It is calling you. It's important to remember that when you're surrounded by the right people, when you're surrounded by the right situations, you don't feel the need to constantly argue and prove your point. So you may feel like you're not receiving the respect that you deserve. In that case, you may want to kind of reevaluate different relationships that you may have in your life. But throughout the Neptune retrograde time period, it would be best if you kind of stayed away from arguments and allowed other people to make their own mistakes, to make their own setbacks and delays, because you cannot help everyone. When you try to help too many people, then you are preventing them from learning lessons that they need to learn. And as a result, you're also depleting your own energy. So it's important to allow others to develop and grow as they will in their own time, in their own space. Now, the Shield Maiden is all about making plans and focusing before moving forward, taking some time to assess what your next steps will be. All great warriors have a plan. You are a sensitive being, and if you're not prepared for the tasks you're taking on, you could end up feeling exposed and helpless. The ancestor guidance that is coming to you now is a reminder that you have a warrior's heart and that you have it within you to be more prepared and focused that you have been recently. So have a strategy in place and then let your guides support you as you move forward. And I love the energy flows where my intuition goes card, because definitely this is a reminder from the universe that whatever you get to focus on, that's what is going to expand. So if you focus on an argument, that's what's going to expand. If you focus on conflict, that's what's going to, grow more and more. If you focus on peacemaking, on healing, on your own goals, on staying in your own frame, then that is what is going to expand for you. And that is what you want to focus on in the Neptune retrograde time period. That is the message that I have for you, dear Virgo. And the next sign that I'll be talking about is Libra. So let's take these two cards and incorporate them back into the deck, and let's shuffle. Let's shuffle the deck for the two cards for the Libra sign. And the first card that I have for the sign of Libra is Summer. Love it. Bask in joy and light. The second card, Snake. Shed old skin. Wonderful. The messages from the universe deck, I'm shuffling that now currently. My happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. Wonderful. Love, love, love these messages. Okay, so let's start with the B, Summer, bask in joy and light. Summer is all about rising up and opening your wings and shining. Bring your projects and plans out into the light, into manifestation. This is the perfect opportunity for you to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Light has come to banish the darkness. Clarity is arriving too, allowing you to know exactly where you are and how you can move forward. Angels and ancestor guides are encouraging you to enjoy this moment. Don't rush forward, because this is the time for pleasure, this is the time for enjoyment, and this is the time for expansion. There's a great chance that you have extra energy, creativity, and inspiration at this time. Notice what is coming to you, as it is inspiration directly from the divine. When the Summer card shows up in the spread, it can also indicate that this summer will usher important energies into your life with regards to your intentions. Now, the Snake card is all about shedding old skin. Get rid of the old. Reveal your true colors, talents, and gifts to the world. The energy of renewal is washing over your life at this time. If for some reason you feel that your true self hasn't been recognized, or you've been misread by others, know that that energy is leaving. As you've been working through your old stories and all the self-limiting beliefs that you've accumulated along the way, you've been peeling away a shield of skin that has created limiting experiences for you. Your own personal commitment to growth has been recognized, and now the external world will begin to reflect all of the work that you've been doing within. If you feel someone you love has misunderstood you, they will actually be able to see beyond that if you're willing to recognize your own challenges. This is a time of renewal, of abundance, and of connection. Let yourself be reborn and celebrated. So definitely by the end of the summer, Libra, you're going to feel like you're a whole new person. There's going to be many changes that are coming into your life. That's why you received the snake. In the ancient times, the snake was actually a really wonderful symbol. It was a symbol of health. It was a symbol of vitality. It was a symbol of renewal as well. So there are many different changes happening in your life right now, and they're all happening for the better. You are becoming more yourself and finally starting to see that you are whole, and as a result you can manifest many different things into your reality. And of course, the message from the universe is my happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. It's important to recognize that the universe, creates things for us in ways we don't always understand. And just when we have that faith in ourselves and in the universe, that's when the miracles start to arrive. So definitely be aware of that, dear Libra. That is the message that I have for you today. The next sign I will be talking about is Scorpio. So let's take these two cards and this card and incorporate them back into the deck, and let's shuffle and see what messages we have from ancestors for the sign of Scorpio. Trying to shuffle. It's kind of working out. Okay, so the first card for the sign of Scorpio is Shaman, trust in higher forces. The second card is Elder, move beyond ancestral patterns. Wow, this is really powerful. And the last card that flew out all the way across the room onto the floor is this card, I honor how I want to feel, message from the universe. Very powerful combination. These three cards are extremely powerful. So let's start with the Shaman card. Trust in your angels, guides, and ancestors. If you've been giving your power away, claim it back. There are spiritual allies working in your favor, and their miracles will unfold much more easily when you move into a state of trust. So call back your power and stop letting external forces divert you from the miracles you deserve. Hand over all of your concerns to your spiritual allies. When you do so, you allow them to send you intuitive guidance and messages that will allow you to correct this situation and come out on top. The Shaman card also shows that you have shamanic potential to move between the realms and connect with your guides in an extremely personal way. I mean, this is a ridiculously powerful card to have in your spread. And so when you get it, definitely the ancestors and the spirit guides are telling you that you have incredible power at your fingertips, and it's up to you to know how to use it. So you really want to develop that. You really want to meditate and observe your thoughts. You really want to do a lot of work with your emotions. Because many different people actually don't understand why they feel the way that they feel and how to work with emotions. The more you do a lot of work with your emotions, the better you become. And you can do shadow work, you can do crystal work, you can do water manifestations. There's so many different things that you can try. But definitely, this is an incredibly powerful card to have in the spread, and I don't get it very often. Elder card is very important because something is holding you back. There's some kind of a pattern that keeps holding you back, and you're kind of making a similar mistake over and over. The message here is move beyond the limitations that have been set for you by family members, past and present. Know that the energy of your spirit is more powerful than genetics and behavioral patterns. So your spirit, the energy of your spirit, is more powerful than your DNA. It's more powerful than, the entire family history. And that is pretty powerful. So it's incredibly hard to break from. It's really difficult to break from parents' expectations. It's really difficult to break from, expectations of your children or your friends or your colleagues, because they have such a strong pull. And so if you're able to break free and kind of create your own path, then that is what will make you the most happy. The elder is the ancestor who comes with a message of healing change. He is an embodied soul, yet he has had journeys that go beyond the physical. So he represents a reclamation of power. When he appears, it's an acknowledgement that you have the capacity to move beyond the limitations that have been placed upon you. If you have had expectations of success or of failure or of sadness or of, sickness placed upon you by your family, it's important to know that you're here to create your own story. You're not supposed to be your mother. You're not supposed to be your father. You're not supposed to be your child or your aunt or your friend. You're supposed to be you, the unique you. This card represents personal healing that will bring healing to your family lineage, to your past, to your present, to your future. Only when you create your own original story, when you create your own original path, after you do all this work, which is very difficult, only then they will recognize it. So for a long time, you have to, keep at it alone for a while. This card represents personal healing that will bring healing to your family lineage, past, present, and future. Know that you get to decide what you take on. And also know that your ancestors are rooting for you and are sorry for any setbacks they have created for you. That is really powerful, humbling message. I like this message from the universe. I honor how I want to feel. There's no wrong way of feeling. Feelings are feelings. And it's important to know, where do they come from? Why does the subconscious, holds on to certain things, whereas the conscious holds on to other things? How do you balance those things? How do you address your feelings? How do you resolve them? How do you trace them back to the source, if you will? There are so many different things that people still don't know about emotions and why they feel a certain feel. But one thing we know for sure, it is important to honor how you feel, because you are very, very unique, and those feelings are special. The more you work with your feelings, the more you're able to kind of figure them out and get to moving in the direction that you need to be moving in. That is the message that I have for you, dear Scorpio. The next sign I will be talking about is Sagittarius. So I will incorporate these two cards back into the deck and this card into the messages from the universe deck. And so now for Sagittarius, I'm going to pull two cards. One card already flew out. That was Sage, be devoted and committed. Let's see, I'm going to pull the second card. Let's see if I can pull the second card, and just want to make sure I shuffle really well. And the second card is Lord, take charge with authority. Sorry for all the scratches. My beautiful girl cat had to have a bath, and as you know, baths are not their favorite pastimes. Cats don't like baths. But we successfully completed a bath time and feeling much better. But there was some scratching for sure. It was quite painful, actually. Okay, so the third card for the sign of Sagittarius is My faith has the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and fear into love. Absolutely wonderful. Let's start with the Sage. The Sage card is all about be willing to go the whole road and back again. This will allow you to be the best you can possibly be. Devotion is a powerful energy. Right now, angels and ancestors want to acknowledge how committed you are to your growth. Your continued dedication to this aspect of your life has been recognized, and your understanding that you are not only a body but also a soul is all you need to continue growing and expanding. The energy of oneness is offering itself to you now, and it's important you take some time to integrate it all so that you can be supported and guided by it. This is what the divine wants for you. Make a note of experiences, make a note of teachers making themselves known to you at this time, because you are going to share those teachings one day too. And of course, the Lord card, taking charge and authority, suggests that don't be afraid to take charge or use your voice. Be strong. Sometimes you have to take control in order to be honored. If you feel that your kindness or gifts are being taken for granted, it's time to change that. There's no excuse for bad behavior, and the ancestors are encouraging you to hold your ground and speak your mind in a fiercely loving way. You have the energy and might to overcome dramas and energies that aren't working for you or your growth, and it's time to take charge before you find yourself in a situation you don't really want to be in. You're being encouraged to be the boss instead of being bossed. This card also brings energy of ambition and can show you have the potential to move upwards and onwards, but only if you act with authority and really show who you are. And of course, the message from the universe card says, my faith has the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and fear into love. Remember that all energy is interchangeable. Remember that when you have fear in your heart, most likely it comes from your ego. But the trauma that you may have experienced in the past, that is definitely something that needs to be resolved and incorporated into yourself, because generally trauma originates from feeling like we're not worthy or feeling like we don't deserve love. It's important to remember we are already whole. We are love. We are the universe. So there's nothing that you're lacking, and there's nothing that you really need to get over. But faith is definitely an important component. Faith is important because there are elements of, the universe that we don't understand, because the universe works in mysterious ways. So faith is important. Faith in yourself, faith in others, faith in the universe, that things will work out. Miracles happen all the time, and if you're aware enough, then you definitely notice them. That is the message for you, dear Sagittarius. The next sign I will be talking about is Capricorn. So let's take these two cards and incorporate them back into their respective decks. And the next sign I will be talking about is Capricorn. So let's shuffle the deck and see what messages we have from ancestors and spirit guides. And the first card is Air Guardian. Shift your perception. Interesting. Now, the second card that we have is Great Teacher. Learn from spiritual experiences. Wonderful. Let's see what message from the universe we can conjure up, if you will. Just trying to shuffle the cards. They're not being very they're being all over the place is what they're being. Okay. And the card that we've got is, when I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. For some reason, I thought about the Doors, because the Doors are when they asked Jim Morrison, why did you name the band The Doors? He said, if the doors of of our perceptions were cleansed, the world would appear as it is, infinite. Definitely, our perceptions can be quite limiting. So we will start from the very first card, which is, of course, the Air Guardian. And perception is truly very important. And when you change the way you think, when you change the way you assign value to different people, assign value to different components in your life, then you will change your whole reality. When this card appears, when the Air Guardian card appears, dear Capricorn, it's an opportunity to learn about your way of thinking. You're being guided to recognize that not all you see is exactly the way you see it. Sometimes the mind can play games, and sometimes our perceptions can be wrong. If you're being challenged or feel that there is lack of clarity and direction in your life at the moment, there is a good chance that the way you're thinking or what you're thinking, focusing on, has a lot to do with that reality. You are being guided to open your eyes and open your mind to go beyond any limits you have set for yourself and recognize that the way you see the world is how you will experience the world. Opportunities are moving in your direction, but they will only open up for you if you're ready to do the internal work to support them. It's important to remember to meditate throughout the Neptune retrograde time period, because when you observe your thoughts, you're able to figure out, what type of thoughts you kind of have, what type of thing really matters to you a lot. Also, when you meditate, it lets you, the longer you do it, the more you are able to have control over your emotions, or not allow your emotions to have control over you, and so you then basically set yourself free from your own limitations, because you're not reacting to something. You're not allowing your body to move in the wrong direction, because a lot of times our emotions are based on ego. We want approval of other people. We, sometimes feel like someone didn't, give us what we needed. And so we kind of develop resentment towards them. All of those types of emotions are ego-based. Also, it's important to remember that when there is some sort of a childhood trauma, it does affect the choices that we make as adults. So it's important to trace any kind of uncomfortable emotions and figure out where they are. Are they stored in your subconscious? Are they coming from there, and how they can be resolved and incorporated into yourself, because you are truly whole. But there's definitely, Capricorn, there's definitely something about your perception that is holding you back, that is continuing to create delays for you. And I think the more meditation that you do, the better you will feel as far as moving forward, and the more courage you'll have, the more bravery you'll have. So definitely throughout Neptune retrograde period, work on your perception. See what other possibilities there could be when looking at the same thing. That's where having different cultures is really important, because when you are able to travel and experience other cultures, that kind of helps you see the world from many different ways rather than only one way. And of course, the great teacher is all about spiritual experiences. Know that what is happening around you at this time is divinely inspired. Learn from your current experiences, then share them with others. This card can represent a teacher in your life or the great teacher within. Either way, it shows that you have dedicated a lot of time, effort, and energy to understanding yourself and understanding the world around you. You are having spiritual experiences at this time and gaining a greater awareness of what you need to do in order to grow. A lot of times people truly don't understand that the most important experience while you are in this physical form on this planet is that spiritual side. The spirituality is the most important, because you're not going to take the money with you where you go. You're not going to take anything or anyone. When you go with your spiritual experiences and those lessons that you've learned throughout life. So definitely it's important to, become more aware. You may find yourself that you're having spiritual experiences at this time and gaining a greater awareness of what you need to do in order to grow. There's a chance that if you've been having challenges or obstacles, especially recently, you will surmount them and allow them to be vehicles to lessons that are helping your spiritual connection. If you feel that you've received messages from heaven or the universe recently, this card is confirmation that these have indeed been holy experiences. And holy experiences are very different from all of us, because our perception of our reality, our perception of spirituality is different from person to person to person. Even if you're related to someone, and you're experiencing a holy, moment, then, people in the room with you can see it completely differently. So it is up to you. Don't allow your belief system or your faith, to be influenced by others, but at the same time, have their perception, see what they're seeing as well. Now, the message from the universe here is, when I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. Definitely, make sure that you are always in your inner, make sure to stay in your frame, and that requires being grounded. When you stay in your frame, when you feel grounded, then your inner light grows stronger. There are so many different meditations. One of my favorite meditations is about opening the third eye and seeing that light come from like your forehead area. There's so many different ways to create a really strong inner light. So definitely make sure that you develop your intuition, you develop your inner voice in order to perceive, love in most things that you see around you. Love comes in many different forms. Love can be perceived in many different ways. So definitely be aware of that. And that is the message that I have for you today, dear Capricorn. Now, the next sign I'm going to talk about is Aquarius. So let's take these cards and put them back in the deck. I will reshuffle the deck and pull 2 cards from the Ancestor and Angel Spirit Guide deck, and let's see what messages we get from the Divine and our Spirit Guides. Just want to make sure that I shuffle really well, because these cards can be difficult to shuffle. Okay, and so the first card for the sign of Aquarius that we have is High Priest, intend and create. And the second card for the sign of Aquarius, Direction Guardian, choose your path. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Love it. Okay, so the universe, messages from the universe card deck. Let's see what message the universe gives to us. Just want to make sure I shuffle it really well. And a couple more times. Okay, and the message that we've got is, thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perceptions so that I can see what is of the highest good. Wonderful. So let's start with the High Priest. I really love that card. The High Priest is all about recognize that you have the power to change your life, face your fear, and align with the light. You are a bridge between heaven and earth, and it's important for you to know that you are more powerful and connected than you may think. That is a very powerful, powerful message, Aquarius. I hope you are taking this to heart. High Priest is definitely a very holy figure, very powerful figure. He's almost like the shaman as well. He has all the sacred knowledge, and he's recognizing that you have the power to create. You have the power to have the world around you as you would like to see it. everything you are giving attention and energy to at this time is creating your way forward. Remember, whatever you focus on tends to manifest, so focus on the good things. There have been some setbacks, but accept these as experiences that have led you to a deeper understanding of yourself and your spirit. Know that you are being guided by the ancestors to direct your thoughts and energies towards what you want to grow. Heal and expand. Heal and expand. And then watch it happen right before your eyes. So the biggest message here for you Aquarius for the Neptune retrograde time period is direct your energy well. You are in charge of energy. Direct it well. Whatever you focus on tends to manifest. Focus on healing and you will become stronger. Focus on creativity and you will create amazing things, whether it's work related, whether it's relationships at home, whatever is super important to you at this time. Now, the Direction Guardian is all about making sure you choose your path very carefully. Connect with your deepest desires, then choose the path that will make your heart and soul sing. Your path isn't set in stone, and your angels and guides have no expectations for you, nor should you have any for yourself. There are many directions you can take. None of them are wrong, as they all hold perfect opportunities to grow and to learn. But life is to be enjoyed and savored. So you know that there is a decision to be made, and particularly if you're feeling indecisive, choose the path you know is going to make you light up, and choose with your heart. So make sure when you are making a decision, follow your heart rather than your head, because ultimately that will make you happy. And of course, the message from the universe suggests that you are pushing beyond your fear. You're pushing beyond your limits. You are expanding your perceptions. You are using perceptions to gain advantage. You've really experienced a lot in the last 12, especially 24 months, and so that is helping you create something magnificent. So make sure to stay the course. Make sure to continue being committed, being dependable, being reliable to your goals, to your dreams. And as long as you do a little bit each day, then you will see incredible rewards, as the Neptune retrograde time period comes to a close. This is the message that I have for you today, dear Aquarius. And the next sign I will be talking about is Pisces. So let's take these cards and put them back in the deck, and let's shuffle the cards really, really well. And the two cards that I have for the sign of Pisces are, we have Elder, move beyond ancestral patterns. We also have Hunter, track down your fears and desires. Let's see what message from the universe we can get to clarify these two cards. And we've got Joy is the ultimate creator. So let's start with the first card, and that is Elder, one of my favorite cards. Move beyond ancestral patterns. Move beyond the limitations that have been set for you by family members, past and present. Know that the energy of your spirit is more powerful than genetics and behavioral patterns. The Elder is the ancestor who comes with a message of healing change. He is an embodied soul, yet he has had journeys that go beyond the physical. Therefore, he represents a reclamation of power. When he appears, it's an acknowledgement that you have the capacity to move beyond the limitations that have been placed upon you. If you've had expectations of success, of failure, of sadness, or even sickness placed upon you by your family, it's important to know that you are here to create your own story. This card represents personal healing that will bring healing to your family lineage, past, present, and future. Know that you get to decide what you take on. And also know that your ancestors are rooting for you and are sorry for any setbacks they have created for you. Definitely, it's important to move past the limitations. For example, a lot of times our parents want us to have a certain career. A lot of times our parents want us to have a certain life. It's important to choose what is right for you, because your parents don't always know what is right for you. Sometimes we, don't do something that we want to do because we're afraid of our parents or grandparents or aunts or uncles or friends' opinion on our choices. It's important to pursue what you want to do and free yourself from, other people's opinions, because they can be affecting your story. And you are really here in this third dimensional world. You really had, to go through a lot to be here. And it's important for you to have and to pursue your unique originality and not be influenced by traditions or opinions or, things that have always been done a certain way. So definitely break free from that. That is the main message that your ancestors want you to know for this Neptune retrograde time period. And of course, the hunter is all about tracking down your fears and tracking down your desires. Instead of being hunted down by your fears or limitations or other feelings that you have buried, become the hunter. You're being given confidence. You're being given strength at this time. So use your power to make a difference. You're not here to cower away or live in the shadows. You're here to realize your fullest potential, but this can only occur when you step up and do what needs to be done. When this card arises, there could be an opportunity to face an aspect of your past or bring closure to a situation that has been haunting you. If you are a man or identify as male, this card represents your masculinity and an opportunity to know yourself more deeply. If you are female or identify as female, this card represents your capacity to be strong and powerful and overcome limitations. And definitely remember that when you focus on being happy, when you come from a place of joy, then you create the best things, the most wonderful things that, make it all worthwhile. So definitely when you are creating or pursuing, or there's a dream that you want to achieve, make sure that it comes from a place of feeling happy and feeling joy. That is the message for you, dear Pisces, for the Neptune retrograde time period. I hope all of you enjoyed these messages from the ancestors. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Please check me out on my Instagram as well. I have some wonderful affirmations that you want to look at throughout the day on there. Again, if you enjoyed these messages, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.